Okay. Today we're looking at the most unserious sports moments from May. And May was a bit of a different month because it felt like every sport was happening at once. Like it felt like when Dylan Brooks was hate watching the NBA playoffs, Real Madrid was crumbling at the same time. Then of course you have the NHL playoffs. MLB season is happening. Then you got people fighting off screens, punching cough. And of course we have a brand new Premier League champion. So let's take a look at all the most unserious sports moments from every single day in May, starting out on May 1st. Game 6 of the first round between the Nuggets and the Wolves. This is who Jokic has to go to battle with. I mean, this guy's worth $125 million. Could barely dribble. Same day, the Orlando Magic up 3-2 on the 1-seed Pistons. Missed 21 straight shots. I know the Pistons have Asar Thompson, right? They got great defense, but this felt like Paul George's three-point shootout. Just clanking. Meanwhile, LeBron James, he's letting the kid know he's frustrated. In the middle of a playoff game, all right? Kid is like, just talking to me. And right after that, Rockets get the ball. Here's an Ime Udoka sideline out of bounds play. That's just brilliant. But on the very next day, F1 World Championship broadcast on Sky Sports right here. The cameraman just says f the segment. Doesn't care, all right? Look at the pit. You're definitely getting laid off. But back to the NBA playoffs right here. Game 7 between the Sixers and the Celtics right here. Jaylen Brown on an island with Embiid. Clapping, talking, hacking, doing whatever it takes, all right? Embiid gets to the rim. Easy lay, jizzes on him, talks back. Sixers end up upsetting the Celtics in 7. 2 days later, in the NHL, Toronto Maple Leafs, who are basically like the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL, hire a new general manager by the name of John Chaika. And it's safe to say that the media wasn't very happy.
In the past, say 3 to 4 days, I have been in contact with about 20 people who work in the National Hockey League, many of whom are prominent names that we would all know. And of the 20 people I spoke to, one was supportive of John's hiring, and the other 19 thought it was a sham, to be perfectly honest. Words were used like con artist, liar, salesman. How did you come to a different conclusion than I was able to come to?
Bro, he's right here.
I must have talked to different people.
That's it? Because I'm telling you, the hockey world today is astounded by this announcement.
Okay.
Crazy question. Meanwhile, at a Red Sox game, this fan right here politely gives a foul ball to the kid, and he throws it away. All right, look at Big Bro. He's livid. Can't believe what he just saw. All right, honestly, valid reaction. Meanwhile, at a girls' high school basketball game, we found a new method. We gotta try that on SGA. On the same day, that same fan that was pissing me off in the last month's video, bro has the bottle in his pocket now. Man City end up drawing the game, putting the title race back into Arsenal's hands. We'll get to that knobhead later. Still on the same day, in foot volleyball, or whatever this sport is called. This is definitely being played in Brazil or something right here. That's the nastiest thing I've seen in my life. What I don't understand is after he does this, why is no one reacting? It's like a regular Tuesday. Everybody's just chilling, man. If I was there, I'd probably be tweaking. But the very next day, some more baseball between the Astros and the Dodgers. Ohtani on the mound. That's one of the worst chases I've seen in my life. Look at Ohtani. He's like, that worked? I guess if you see the pitch overlay afterwards, it makes more sense. But still, I mean, what is he swinging? The very next day in the NBA playoffs, Devin Vassell does the second nastiest highlight I've seen in my life. The level of difficulty on this one. Shot clock winding down. He jumps before he catches the ball. I don't think you guys understand how ridiculous this is. Like, bro, that's insane. But enough in the nasty highlights. All right, let's get in some controversy. A fight breaks out on the 7th within the Real Madrid camp between midfielders Tchouaméni and Valverde. Valverde ended up at the hospital and apparently ended up knocked out on the ground with his head split open and bleeding. Valverde then comes out with a letter saying that no punches were thrown. There wasn't an actual fight. I don't know how he split his head open then. This must have been the way. Made a full video on that though. Link is in the description. The very next day, we move on to Czech football. Slavia versus Sparta for the league title. 96-minute. Fans just stormed the field. At first, I thought to myself, maybe this was just a protest. You know, maybe the losing team fans wanted to restart the game like it's FIFA. But apparently, the fans who ran on the field were Slavia fans, the team that was up 3-2 and was on course to defend the Czech title with just minutes remaining and 3 games to go. But they decided to run on the field, attacking the opponent's players, and the match was abandoned. I'm not sure I understand that one. Meanwhile, Wolves Spurs again. Wolves bench players seen contesting Champagne's 3-point attempt. That has to be illegal. Look at this. What is happening this month? But on the 10th, time for a celebration, all right? One of my favorite athletes, one of my childhood idols, LaMelo Ball, has welcomed his new son into the world. Named La1. Congratulations to LaMelo, man. Same day, the Monk hits Nas Reed with one of the worst elbows I've seen in my life. I taught him way too much shoo in China, man. I'm telling you, man, they did too much. On the 12th, OKC up 3-0 against the Lakers, and Dylan Brooks decides to show up. This might be gift of the year. I mean, bro showed up just to see LeBron get swept. One of the funniest villains of LeBron's career. After the series, though, a report comes out that DeAndre Ayton could look to opt out for a bigger payday. Please, Lord, pay him. Somebody pay him. Somebody else pay him! Hope you get your money, DeAndre. But on the same day, we have some NFL news, which is really strange because usually around this time of the year, it's really quiet in the NFL. But we got DK Metcalf posting a story of him shitting. Make sure you get them parasites out ya. All right, bro. This is who they traded George Pickens for. In the NHL, the Montreal Canadiens, the Habs, face up against the Sabres in the first round. Tage Thompson scores one of the most insane goals off of the stanchions from the board. All right. Ricochets in. I don't see that too often, but then we have the Giants outfield. Honestly, I don't really want to talk about this. Some baseball players, man, they're just strange humans. You know what I mean? Just strange beings. But then on the 13th, we have more Real Madrid controversy. All right. Fans are basically complaining that the club hasn't won trophies in 2 years since Mbappe got to the club. And so in response to that, club president Florentino Perez says, do we have to always win the Champions League? If so, then the rest of European clubs should just commit. Like, what is he saying? I don't know if he's going crazy. Like, maybe he saw Vinny Jr.'s Rabona and just started saying shit. I don't know. But let's get back to the NHL playoffs right here. Mitch Marner scores the nastiest playoff goal. Breakaway against the Ducks goes through the wickets. Just filthy. Leafs fans in shambles, man. Marner finally showing up for the playoffs the moment he leaves. Well, on the halfway point of the month, a second ball appears. I thought initially this was mid-game and someone from the stands threw a ball. This is actually during warm-ups, but still, I mean, what are the chances of this? Next day on the next chapter basketball, 1v1. Boogie stamps with the crossover of the air. We're not here to show good highlights. Here we have this guy just punching dick. Didn't even try to fight over the screen. All right. But 2 days later, the special one is back at Real Madrid. Jose Mourinho is here to take over this clown show. Get everybody back in order. Get everybody back to winning football. One of the greatest managers of all time. He's back in the big leagues. All right, I'm excited to see him manage this team. But on the same day, we had the start of a historic series in the making. Spurs versus Thunder. Game 1, Shea misses the easiest shot of his career. Just sort of overthought it because Wemby was in the paint. Wemby starts laughing at him. Itching to throw that elbow. You tell you want to do it so bad. Oh, he almost did it right there. Then he goes doggy. This alien had the game of the year, all right? Hits this deep 3 in overtime to extend it to double OT and then closes him out with the game-winning block with the post. Spurs take game 1. But the very next day, Arsenal win the league. Manchester City with another draw, which means North London is red. Yeah? Who's Butlers? Who's Butlers? Now I'm holding the bottle. I'm holding the bottle, fam. It's prick blood. Just a beautiful sight, man. I never thought I'd see this day.
After 22 years of gloom, it's about to go boom! The Arsenal...
See, I don't know about that commentary. After 22 years of gloom, it's about to go boom. Like, can we get Martin Tyler back on the mic? Peter Drury? Like, that wasn't it, man. Arsenal, the new champions of English football. On the same day, it was game 1 between the Cavs and the Knicks. Cavs up 22 with 7 minutes left, and then Harden just gets picked on. I'm talking every single play. James Harden was getting hunted by Jalen Brunson. And even Knicks head coach Mike Brown admitted this was the strategy.
It is no secret we were attacking hard.
No secret. But despite this, the Cavs still had a chance to win game 1.
Three-pointer, in and out. That one halfway
Mike
down.
Breen with the half bang.
Three-pointer, in and out.
That's special. That's composure. Best in the game for a reason, man. But then we have game 2 between the Spurs and the Thunder. Ah! Then we had this. Why are the Thunder players so bad at these? This is that smile you give when you see your neighbor. Like, why did he smile like that? Never thought I'd be doing this, but I'm showing you guys a highlight from an Angels game. Not exactly a baseball highlight, all right? We have 6 fans right here who decide to take their shirts off in the upper deck, waving their shirts around, and all of a sudden, it turned into an army. Nothing happening on the field. They got a whole section in the upper deck. Just straight skins, all right, waving their shirts. All right, fans just had nothing to do. But then 2 days later, the Cavs, they literally gave up. Look at this defense right here. That's Flight Reacts. I mean, awful. But head coach Kenny Atkinson still thinks that the series is alive, saying analytically, we've won 2 of the 3. Not sure how he still has a job. But back to the Thunder versus Spurs. Spurs tied up a series at 2 apiece with a win in Game 4. And Chet Holmgren, all-star, third-team All-NBA player for the Thunder. Just been having a rough series, all right? Going up against his arch-rival, Wembanyama. Made a full video on the full context of their rivalry. But here, Shea is asked post-game what he thinks the team can do better to get Chet more involved.
Just what are some things you think you can do to help get Chet a little bit more involved offensively?
Yeah,
He said, Couldn't think of a poem. Same day, Otani hits a dinger. Watches it go out. Ball. Doinks this kid's head. Lifelong CTE. But the very next day, the Knicks swept the Cavs. It was always written. And New York just started going nuts. Look at this. Also made a separate video on this. Link is in the description as well. But pray for New York City's okay, man. The very next day, I don't know how Steph Castle misses that. Easiest shot of his life. And the Spurs ended up losing this one. And a very frustrated Wemby tells his goons, Plumlee and Biyombo, hard fouls as he's checking out late in the fourth. Sending a hit out, all right? And ensuing possession, elbows the shit out of McCain. Crazy series, man. But back to baseball we go. Uribe, closer for the Brewers right here, does his celebration. Triple hump after the strikeout. Now, this pitch was actually challenged, and it was pretty close. Could have very well been a ball. That would have been hilarious. Next thing, now we have some tennis. French Open right here. This guy just starts trolling, all right? Starts hitting straight moon balls, all right? Every shot was just in the air, high arc, and then closes it out for the point. But the NBA playoffs weren't the only basketball playoffs going on right now, because in China, the CBA playoffs are happening, all right? 6 seconds left, tie game. Brandon Goodwin of the Shanghai Sharks gets the steal for the win. Bang! What a shot right here to take down the Zhejiang Lions. I mean, this is just chills. Back to the French Open we go. Novak Djokovic said this between sets.
Can you come more in my face? For God's sake, make some space.
Yeah, he ended up losing this match. But over on the women's side, we have Marta Kostyuk pulling the shit out of her opponent, all right? Throws the ball up once right here. Takes a dribble. Throws it up again. Not serving it, all right? Threw it a little too far ahead. Comes back. Dribble. Dribble. Sets up. Gotta wipe a little bit of sweat, you know what I mean? Still waiting, thinking about what she's gonna do. And then underhands a slice serve. I didn't even know you could do that. That has to be bad etiquette or something. Like, I didn't know that was allowed. Then we had a little man here training.
Go.
What do you mean, go? What is coach talking about? If I did this when I was a kid, the slipper's coming out. I said go. Man, maybe parenting's gotten soft these days. Now we're on May 30th, the final day I'm covering in this video. Oklahoma youth baseball coach has received a lifetime suspension for instructing his 12-year-old son to throw the ball directly into the dugout. What is happening with parenting? Is parenting falling off? What are they teaching them in Oklahoma? Because that's just out of hand. Like, there's nothing in a Little League baseball game that can warrant this type of reaction. But speaking of Oklahoma, of course, we got to get to Game 7, which I obviously once again covered in a separate video. You can check it out, link in the description. All I wanted to say was third-team All-NBA, All-Star player Chet Holmgren was just scared in the moment. All right, 4 points, only had 2 shots, no shot attempts in the second half. Move on to take on the Knicks. All right, now let's address the elephant in the room. Champions League final, PSG versus Arsenal. I know. I got it. I know what happened. Honestly, I still can't believe we won the Prem. I mean, 28% possession. We were low blocking for our lives, making it to penalties. This was the only chance we had. Of course, Eza. Gabriel. Plus, he was just too good to be true, man. There's no way we won the double. You know, it's Arsenal. They get too out of hand. You know what I mean? Let's just win one thing at a time. And we'll be back and we'll be better. Because look at our comp. Liverpool. Sack slot. Ass. City. Pep's gone. Cooked. All it is Man U. And it's Man U. I'm just stay there, all right? We'll be back, all right? I'm still gooning. Thank you guys for all the support in May. I'm really, really appreciative. It makes me feel a lot better about the Arsenal loss. Once again, leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.